Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with Liv Colliander with her movie Dryland. Let's take a look at a clip. Thank you so much for your film. It was so amazingly powerful, and I'm very honored that you're living here in Los Angeles, but originally from the amazing Denmark. But for those that haven't seen Dryland, tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Well, it's the story of a young swimmer who finds her mother attempting suicide and saves her life, brings her to the hospital, and after waking up is hoping to see the mom and love that she knew from before, but instead is met with this cold shoulder and anger of having saved her. And then it goes into the movies, the two of them trying to find a new language, a new way of connecting and communicating upon it happening. So that's about it, while she struggles with her swimming and trying to express her emotions in some way, get an outlet for them.
It was very powerful and really powerful story and powerful acting performances. I actually went away and called my family straight after I saw your film. I was like, it just sat with me, and just how we should appreciate talking about feelings and emotions and what we all go through that sometimes we don't realize people are going through. Yes. Now, what's also so amazing, Liv, is that you created this project around experiences that you've had. But for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about where your kind of inspirations come into making this as you wrote and directed it.
Well, it's like, I think also we talked about earlier, you and me, that I've made movies before that were not as personal, because I've made a few shorts before, but they've been more from things that excited me, other subjects, other people's lives, and I felt it was about time to look inward and get personal. And I've had, like, my mother attempted suicide a few years back, and I found her together with my brother, and we got out to the hospital and went through that whole process ourselves. My grandfather committed suicide before I was born, and I lost my cousin, sadly, last year as well to suicide. So there's been a lot of it, and I have a lot of friends, a lot of people nearby in my life that also have gone through the same thing, and I feel it gets silenced. People don't talk about it, and also there's such a even today, like, there's such a shame connected to it that it's hard for people to talk about the people who's happened to. It's like, let's not pretend it never happened. And also between each other, like, how do you put words on the feelings about it? It's like, what just happened? You tried to leave, you didn't, or you did. That person did leave us that way. Right. What is that about? Like, there's so much anger, I think, and frustration from all sides connected to it. And I just felt the need for me to put that out there and find a way to do it. And
you certainly did it. And, you know, we have ironically, both of our grandfathers passed away to suicide. And you know, it's, I also have the history in my family. And one thing we decide as a family is that, you know, communicate. You know, and how important the importance of communication actually is. And I think when you're tackling a film through the moving image and putting this beautiful relationship between mother and daughter, and in this great scenario centered around a swimming pool, which I love, that was kind of the focal point. It's very powerful to watch and see that. But, you know, what's so great is you were making a film that essentially was saving lives too, because, you know, people are watching that and understanding the perception of mental illness. No, I think most definitely. Now, you had to really get a great cast to capture the essence of the mother-daughter relationship and what she was going through, and it was so beautiful to watch. It doesn't, I'm not surprised why it's every festival in the world is after you, but how do you come about casting for Dryland?
It was really fun. That's like my favorite part, I think, also about being a director, is to get to work with other people and find that, again, talking about language and communication, a way of transferring the story from the paper to the screen. And we, the mother, Jacqueline, knew our DP and our production designer, and we had a casting agency on board. Like, they were really amazing and helped us find Charlie and a lot of the other people. But Jacqueline came to us through these personal recommendations, because we kept looking and seeing people, and I was like, haven't seen her yet. And they were like, come have lunch with Jacqueline. And we went down and sat and had a cup of coffee and some food, and she was amazing. I was like, just her personality in real life, I was like, the woman can sit and tell a million stories without just one blink and one movement. She's really, really a powerful and amazing actress. And I was like, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
You can do this. I trust in you. And it was a very, very easy process with her as well, because she just had it. And I think we had to find that trust of her also knowing, I won't give you that many notes, because I just want you to float like a fish through this water that we're doing, like, and do your thing, because she brought so much to it, and I learned so much from her about also her way of acting. So it's amazing. And then Charlie, who was like, again, is the star of the movie, you can say, and also a star just in my life, I think. Amazing, amazing young girl. Walked in, like, we saw many great, very talented young women. I saw already on the video, I got sent from her a self-tape first, and I was like, there's something about her, I couldn't put a finger on it, and I was like, I need to see her in real life. And the second she walked in the door, she was in character all the way through. Like, she was already like the girl in the story. She came in and we ran some lines, not that much. She keeps saying, like, she's never tried anybody being that quick to be like, okay, that's it, I don't have anything more. And then she was like, phenomenal. Really, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, there was not one bit of doubt. Like, I knew this, like, just by seeing her move and being there, I was like, you can do this. Then I was like, can you swim? And she was like, yeah, like normal swimming, like, not like professionally. We had looked at before finding a real swimmer who was not an actress to do the role because of all the swimming, but found out that would take probably more time and acting training that at this level in short films is hard to get. Hopefully in feature film land, that will be a thing. But Charlie, she was like, no, I can do it. And I was like, okay, but you sink or float. Like, can you do that? And she was like, I can sink. And I was like, good, because you might have to. So
that was a very powerful moment that you see. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that's not seen it, but my goodness me. And she really is a phenomenal young actress. And to take on board that storyline, you know, a young age, and then, you know, as actors, you apply yourself. Yeah, I'll be in a poll, I can do this, and, you know, kind of attributing new things, but just kind of, you know, really, there's just so much without even her words that you just kind of felt every heartbeat that she was going through with her relationship with her mother. Really, really powerful. Now, I imagine there was some challenge. I mean, you obviously, you know, you're making a film and you're like, let's make it around a swimming pool and let's bring that aspect and all the different people you had involved with it as well. It's very easy, right? Was there any challenges making your film?
Yes, there was. The pool, the swimming. I knew from the beginning it had to be like about a swimmer in water, because the way the story, when I took my own emotions and my own personal experience, I was trying to see it as a film in my head, and it just came in with this girl swimming, diving into the water, and I was like, well, she's got to be a swimmer. We have to use water to tell it, and I'm terrified of water myself. Almost drowned twice as a kid. Don't feel very comfortable in pools or deep water in any way.
And you made a film centered around water. Wow.
And also, when I have to do something really important, I usually, or if I'm terrified of some event that's coming up or something, I have to, or going through a lot of pressure, I have drowning dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that too. Some people have more
often
than others.
I almost drowned in Mexico. Like, I was resuscitated as well myself, so I have a kind of a fit, lots of weird stuff being spread out today. But no, so I do have drowning dreams. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I do.
It's a thing, and it's like, and so it's like, well, it's such a strong metaphor inside me, and I think as well, water is also a source of life. And moving to LA, where there's no water. It comes from wherever around. I was like,
borrowing it from other places,
and you need it to survive. And then I was like, okay, a story about people who are trying to survive and find a source of life, like like that, the life force to keep going.
I love that you're taking a sort of a viewpoint of something that's affecting you, but actually using that as a filmmaking aspect to a source of life, like you said. Yeah, it's
like,
amazing.
and match it to the story, and
Yeah.
I was like, that's what she's missing. The mother's missing the water, and the daughter is in the water trying to move forward,
Yeah.
and it's going to bring her down. It's going to get infected by her mother, the pain
Yeah.
with her mother. If she doesn't let it go, then it will stop her. And I was so
much. You've got so many morals in this film. It's great.
that's what we do, right?
Yeah, that's
It's
what we
really-
do. It's very exciting. That's why
It's
I watched
putting
it
in
more than once.
important-
It's a lot of depth to it. Excuse the pun, but it really is.
Thank you. No, but so the shooting in a pool, I made it as my thesis film at AFI, which is also a long
amazing, yeah.
process to go through, and where you have a whole panel of teachers that send in as executive producers, where you have to go to meetings and defend why you want to do what you want to do, how do you want to do it. It needs to be safe, there needs to be money, it needs to, you need to have the right amount of people. You cannot just go in and make it the poor man way. Like, that's not an option. And so I was like, but I need this. I need to feel the float of the water. So I need a crane and underwater housing and a pool that has space enough to do it, and the visual power for what we need to say. And it took a long time. I think up until the day before, I was still afraid that we were not going to have a pool, that we were not going to have the crane to do it. And I was like, I don't know how to tell the story, because then it's just going to be like any other, not any other, but like it's going to be two people talking and walking. And I felt like this story needed that side of it to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did amazing. I mean, anyone that's trying to, work and use water, you have to think about a lot of different things. Safety, of course. It's huge. AFI just pull out the most amazing people. We've had so many people from AFI, and I'm like, insane talent. It's just incredible, and credit to you and all the greatness that you did with your thesis. But I think it's so great when you're kind of tackling personal but also social issues that we need to address. How important is it for you as a filmmaker to kind of address something that is a subject that we kind of literally need to speak more about?
Very important. The more and more, the older I get, again, like when I was younger, I think I made just movies that came to me, stories that I found fun, inspired by other filmmakers that I liked, and didn't get to until quite late in my life to really understand the responsibility I think we have as filmmakers to tell stories that are important, because there's so much material out there. There's so many films, so many great films, a lot of that don't succeed that well. And it's like, I don't even know how many films in the city are being made a day or a second. It's like so many. So I think it's important, like if we want to put something out there, that we think about how is the audience going to take it? Who's going to watch it? Is it going to help them? Is it going to do anything? And thereby not saying that a horror film or like a really scary, bad subject can't do the same, but just what is the result the film's going to do? And I think for me, at least, that has become something the older I get, something I feel is important and a bigger reason for me to do what I do, and not just for my own sake.
Yeah. This is like a film education right here. I mean, I'm learning so much just listening to all the things that you have to consider, because it's absolutely true. But, there's so much to consider. It really is. But, it's very, what was so wonderful was that we have a lot of filmmakers that actually make films about personal experiences and put it out there for the world, for others to be inspired and learn from and understand, and all those aspects of things. What's it like to have your film selected for NewFilmmakers LA with an audience, and for them to receive what you created?
That's amazing. Like I love NewFilmmakers LA. I've been following, and I have a lot of friends that have been through and I've been and saw their film. So I just feel it's an important forum, like a good platform that not a lot, like there's so many great festivals out there, but it's more also community.
Exactly.
It's like and it's like and very interesting people in the audience. And I think for this month I can mainly speak about what I was there with the focus on female filmmakers. I was very proud to be part of that. It was very flattering and amazing to be standing next to other amazing female filmmakers and watch their films.
Very empowering.
Very empowering, and like also
important too.
Very, very important. And it was like just a great audience, a lot of people there. Just felt really good.
Well, I mean, it's Women's Independence Month. We have great female filmmakers throughout the entire year, but being a focus on Women's Independence Month, having Women in Film and the Alliance of Female Directors being part of the event. And you know, we at New Filmmakers LA strive to have global storytelling from all perspectives, and we got some things we need to change in the film industry, and statistically making sure everybody gets a fair opportunity, and that we've got fair driven storytelling as well in our industry. What is next for you? How can we keep in contact with all the great, because we want more of your stuff and more of your work. What is next for you on the horizon?
Well, I've been preparing a short film as well, another one to hopefully shoot within the next couple of months.
Amazing.
Just need to figure out.
Wow.
Again, but one, I was just about to shoot it, I think 2 months ago, but then stopped because of the question of the social responsibility and what was I saying with it, and I'm just retweaking in the story to make sure it can't be misunderstood.
Got it.
And so the right point is coming true, especially in the world that we live in right now, I think, politically. Yes. And it can very easily, the story, be taken the wrong way by the wrong people with the wrong mindset, and I don't want that to happen, because it's supposed to go another way. So I'm doing that, and then I've been writing on my first feature.
Amazing, congratulations.
Still writing through draft after draft, getting it into a good place, and
I love your filmmaking. I love your talent and how you project your films. I'm looking forward to seeing much more of your work. And you know, and being from the other side of the world, an immigrant like myself, what piece of advice would you have for anybody at any corner of the earth, or right here in Los Angeles, for anyone that wants to become a filmmaker?
That's a big question.
It's a big question.
I still ask that, so if somebody
I
has
know,
good one. No, I think just keep doing it. It's a very scary thing to be a filmmaker sometimes. I feel it's hard. You have to make everything happen yourself. It has to come within you. You have to put it out there. It's like, in a way, the world really needs storytellers, but it's also not, there's so many storytellers out there, so to get yourself through it can be really hard to go there, but just keep making films. Keep doing it, never stop.
And never stop against the odds, just keep making it happen.
Keep doing it, and do it for the right reasons. I had a great teacher who still means the world to me, that I had at a young age. He said, if you suddenly became homeless and people stole all your belongings from one day to another, you were sitting out there, what would you do? Like, if you had nothing to do, there's no people there to help you, you're wandering around, what are you gonna do? And then I'm like, well, maybe I could find some paper and a pen and I can start writing stories down. Maybe I'll break in and steal somebody's video camera, or like find it in a thrift store, get enough money to buy it and make my movies and try to get up again that way and do it. And he was like, well, if you can't stop doing it, then you're supposed to do it.
If I ever become homeless, I'm going to find a paper and a pen. That's where I go. I love that. Thank you very much for being so inspirational. Thank you for Dryland, and we'll look forward to seeing much more of your film there. Thank you.